Hey everybody, welcome to FabFit Friday. I am so excited today because I've been holding on to these two packages for a few days because I wanted to open them with you guys. And one of them has Christian Dior fabric in it, so I'm excited to see what the quality is compared to like a regular rib knit that you would find, at a good fabric store. So I'm excited about that. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me just stop and say howdy to everybody. Hi, Victoria. Victoria likes the top. Mary says she just finished her treadmill and she's going to hem 3 layers of bridesmaid dress after the video. Woo, that's a big job, Mary. Good luck with that. Hey, Diane. Diane likes the top. Tiana says, my treadmill is the bane of my existence, but we have to use it, right? Better than 100-degree temps outside. Well, I got my butt on the Case Mountain this morning for my 4¼ mile hike with the dog. So that's my treadmill, and I try to do it 3 or 4 days a week. And I get all my frustration out, and I also think of all the good things I need to do. It's my mental therapy in addition to my exercise. And I do go to the gym sometimes and use the treadmill, so it is a good option. So first I want to tell you, I am starting to love this stool, and I'm just going to show it to you. This is my stool. See? That's the whole seating area, and it has a little stand for my feet. I may actually just go with this because the cool thing about my new stool is I can tuck it under the table when I'm standing and working, and I don't have to walk around something. So I'm kind of excited about not having a big footprint for my rolly chair that I killed after 12 years. And you can see here, I finished my armholes and my neckline for my new high neckline tee. All right, let me just stop and say hi, Diane Bacon. Hi, Janie, and hi, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you love the space dyed top. Okay, so I shared this a couple FabFit Fridays ago. Fabric Mart had a sale on their Beyond Yoga fabrics, and I just want to touch on that for a second because I got an email from somebody who followed the link over and purchased some of the Beyond Yoga athletic fabrics. What you need to be careful about is this was described as a space dyed, Jennifer, you're 100% correct, jersey. Okay, and it's a poly spandex. It's soft. It's really comfortable. If you want this kind of fabric, you need to stay away from fabrics that are labeled as nylon lycra. Nylon lycra is bathing suit fabric. All right, so this particular person emailed me yesterday and said, I got my Fabric Mart order, but all the fabrics are sort of stiff and slippery. And she said that they were nylon with lycra. That's bathing suit fabric. Now, that's not bad if that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking for soft and cozy, then you want to look for words like jersey, featherweight, poly spandex, rayon spandex. And those things will generally keep you from ordering bathing suit fabric. So I have 2 more colors. I'm going to be making some more of these. I'm absolutely in love with this, and I have it on, and I'm just gonna, while I'm sharing, I'm going to take off my top. I want to show you how this fits too, and then I'm going to tell you how I screwed this up from being a dress to now it's a top. I love it when I screw stuff up. All right, so as you can see, I think you can see, this is going to fit me really, really nicely. Okay, so it's a loose, hide my belly kind of top. All right, and my little shorts I have on from hiking. Sorry about that. But basically, there is my pin tucking. I'm going to, I stay stitched the neckline. I think I might run it on the serger with a differential feed set above end to gather it in slightly. And then I'm going to finish these with bias strips that I'm going to turn to the inside like a facing. So that's how I'm going to finish this. And what I want you to notice is, when I first made this, all of my little tucks stopped right here. And I had what looked like a maternity top. It went from fitted to super fluffy under my bust, and that was not attractive. So I'm going to talk about how to use tucks to fit your garment. And I'm going to show you how I got this pattern versus the one we did a couple weeks ago. So I just wanted to show you that it fits. Okay, and I didn't do any tucks in the back because after all of my irritation with screwing it up, I decided I'm just going to work on the front, and then I'm going to revisit doing one for the back later. So that's how this is working out. And let me just see. Oh, Momzilla is looking for a chair too. Does a stool give you a sore butt? All right, so I'll tell you, this stool, I didn't love it when I got it home, but it's growing on me. And it's almost like I'm getting used to sitting in it. And sometimes I'll sit with it like this. I'll sit sideways on it, and sometimes I sit like this on it. So I don't know. We'll see. I still may get a chair. I was waiting for them to call me and tell me they found me a new chair that wasn't $1,500. I haven't heard from them yet. So for now, I'm just practicing on my chair. It's a couple inches higher than my chair, because you can see my head's getting cut off by my camera. I didn't change the height of that. All right, let me just back up here and say hello to people. Mary Smith says, the holes on the tank top look much better now that they are finished. Yeah, see, I have this weird fat blob right here. Like, see? So I try to cover it. So then depending on what I'm doing, sometimes it looks a little creepy there, but I wanted to have as much coverage around as possible. You know, and I took a knit strip. This one I did completely on the sewing machine. This one I serged it on and then sewed it after I turned it to the wrong side. But very comfortable, and everything stretches. You know, it's all nice and stretchy, so pretty happy with this. Oh, Diane says she likes the high neckline. I'm really liking this too. I want to start protecting my skin under here that always gets burnt. Oh, Barbara says, hello, Barbara from PA, and you love the top. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Lois, welcome from Arizona. Carol says, thanks for the fabric tips. Scared of poly here in Florida. Well, I will tell you that some of the performance knits that have polyester in them are actually very breathable. My performance sports knit that I make all my yoga pants out of it are dry max and antimicrobial. So they're not the old polyester you think of when you're thinking of polyester knit from, you know, years ago. This is very comfortable and cool. Matter of fact, I almost feel like I'm not even wearing anything with this. Seamstress from the cottages, love the pink top, how the pink top fits you. Pin tucks are really nice. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Leanne, welcome. Jennifer says, just love the high neck jersey top. Very flattering and classy, shows shape without blatantly flaunting it. It's a winner. Thank you so much. The thing I can't stand about is if I even have a little cleavage showing, that makes me nuts. So I'm going to be making a ton of these. I'm very excited about this. Oh, Leanne's excited about fitting pants next week. So next weekend, there'll be no Fab Fit Friday because I'm going to be doing the 3-day pants fitting workshop. And I just want to tell you, if anybody wants to join me, the last pants fitting opportunity is going to be October 4, 5, and 6. And it's on my website now. I did email all the people who had signed up for the wait list for it. There were 11 people who signed up for that date, and only, I think, 3 people signed up, and then another person signed up who was not on the wait list. I'm having it now. So the 4 people is my minimum for holding an event. So if anyone else would like to join me, it's going to be a really fun time. I'm excited about it. Yeah, so next weekend, and then again, if anybody's interested in the October 4, 5, and 6 dates, and if you were on the wait list and you haven't registered yet, I would register because I'm going to start advertising it a little bit more to get a few more people. But in any case, that's my whole pants story, and I'm super excited. I'm making little goodie bags, so when you check in, they will give you a little gift bag with stuff in it, and there's some sewing related things in there and some snack related things in there, along with some water. So I'm excited about everything related to the pants fitting. All right, so let me just make sure I said hi to Carol, Lois, Momzilla. All right, Jeanette wants to know how to lower a bust dart. Well, I'm going to be showing something in a minute, and I'll explain that to you in 1 minute when I show you how I got the pattern for this top back here, Jeanette. So hold on for that in a minute. And oh, Jennifer is saying, is this in-person event or online? It's an in-person 3-day pants fitting workshop. It's going to be at the Hampton Inn in Manchester, Connecticut. And I'm going to be busy going to the airport to pick up people because I don't want people to have to feel like they have to Uber themselves if it's at all possible. So I'm picking up people. So if you have to fly in, I'll pick you up. Also, I'll tell you, one of the ladies asked me for less expensive lodging options, and she found an Airbnb for $63 a night, right, a few miles away from the Hampton Inn. So there are some less expensive lodging options as well that I can share. Oh, Polly says the October date is a go. Polly's coming into the October date. Yay, I'm super excited. And actually, in fairness, someone from the October waitlist signed up for the August class because I had someone who had to cancel last minute for family health reasons. So really 5 people actually technically would be in that class, but one of them is coming in next weekend. All right, so let me just, what is the name of the fabric? This fabric is space dyed poly spandex jersey. So that would be what would be in the description. I put links to both Fabric Mart and the Confident Stitch in the description of this video because I'm going to show you fabric from both of those places in a minute. Let me just see here. Oh, Momzilla wants me to talk about differential feed. Okay, so the reason why I said, if you can see here, the neckline kind of stretched a little bit because the linen, is loosely woven. And I was pressing it and making tucks. So to get rid of some of the little bubbly stuff going on here, I'm going to run the edge of the neckline around in my serger. I'm going to use a 4-thread stitch. I'm going to set my differential feed to a number higher than N, or neutral, or normal. N means there's 2 sets of feed dogs on your serger. So there's front ones and back ones. The back ones go at a constant rate of speed. The front ones, you can adjust the speed. And if you make it go in faster than the back is letting it out, it'll compact it and actually gather it up a little bit for you. If you're working on a knit, it actually compensates for the stretch. So settings higher than N, or sometimes it's 1, depending on the brand, will make the front feed dogs go faster so you can compensate for the stretch, or you can gather things up. And I just want to gather up that neckline on that before I finish it with a bias strip. Okay, so that's all. I think I've answered everybody. So I'm dying to see the Christian Dior fabric. So let's do that first. And then I'm going to talk about how I screwed up my dress and it became a shirt or a top. And then I'm going to show you how I made the top pattern compared to how I made the dress pattern. So I still rotated a dart because there's no darts in that top. All right, so I'm going to switch to my table view here, and you can see I've got, let's open the Fabric Mart first. This is my Fabric Mart fabric, and this was one of Sue's picks. So if you if you are on Fabric Mart's website, I'm sorry, if you're on Fabric Mart's email, she'll send out emails every day, at least one. And what she'll do is, I guess someone named Sue who works there picks out a fabric to sell at a very low cost. So this was linen that is plaid, and it's suiting weight fabric. So I'm going to make myself a pair of pants out of this linen, so we can see that this is kind of pretty. And I got 3 yards for $9.99. See, because it was $3.99 a yard. So I got 3 yards of this 100% linen. It says it's dry clean, but I'm going to try to wash a sample to see. But you can see this is not, obviously I just opened this up. So this feels like the linen I used for my top after I starched it. So this is a much more substantial linen. And I'm going to be making pants, and I'm going to be matching this plaid. So that's one thing I got. And actually, if anybody, oh, you bought that too, Barbara? Oh, so I really don't want to be a super enabler, but they're having a flash sale on rayon nylon Ponte knit that's onyx black color, and that's $3 a yard or $3.99 a yard. I bought the maximum of 10 yards of that when I went to go get the link for this live. Every time I go to that website, I have to shut my eyes and just get the link because I find more things. So I ordered 10 yards of Ponte knit. So if anybody's looking for black Ponte knit, head over there right after we're done and get yourself some black Ponte knit for $3.99 a yard. I ordered 10 yards. I'm super excited. All right, so Barbara, we're going to be making something with this. What are you going to be making? I'm going to be making pants with this suiting fabric. Excited. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to share. Now, this is the one I'm really excited about. If you guys are not aware of the Confident Stitch, they are a shop in Missoula, Montana, and they're a very cool store, and I love Kate, who owns it, and her employees, and they're just a wonderful bunch. You have until tomorrow, the 27th, to sign up for her newsletter, and then you'll get a 20% off coupon. There's a link to the Confident Stitch in the description below as well. So definitely check that out. And if you want to get a 20% off coupon, please go do it before the 27th, because then you can get 20% off. That's how I bought this Christian Dior fabric. So, oh, Barbara's not sure what she's going to make yet. All right, well, keep us posted, Barbara. All right, now let's go back to this. This is what I'm really excited about. All right, so I'm going to snip open this one. Okay. All right, let's see. Christian Dior rib knit. Now look, they have this cute little card that they send, and they always send you some labels. I love these labels that they send. So this is the Confident Stitch, and it says I made this, the Confident Stitch. And then this one says, made with love, the Confident Stitch. So you get little fabric labels when you order from the Confident Stitch, which I think is very cool. All right, now let's look at this rib knit. So of course, I ordered black and gray. These were the only, navy and gray. These were the only colors that they had available. So there were no brighter colors, Mary, I'm sorry, but I was completely fascinated by the quality that that this fabric must be if Christian Dior sewed garments out of it. Oh, Diane says the linen is beautiful. It is beautiful linen. I'm very excited about it. All right, I'm going to blow out my camera so you can really see here. All right, so just look at how nice this is. Look at the that's the selvage edge. Look how nice and even it is. And I can tell you, I have never... Okay, so it's a rib knit. They're tiny ribs. This is beautiful fabric. It's stretchy, but not super stretchy, and it's only two-way stretch. So it stretches across here, and I'm gonna show you. Let's just see. So if I grab a 10-inch piece, so I would say this has 25%, I would say. 25% stretch across the cross grain. I can see that this is got a lot of structure to it. This is not a soft drapey knit, but my plan is to make a looser fitting raglan sleeve, long sleeve top, so I can make the body of the top navy, and then I got a yard of the gray to make the sleeves gray. So that's how I'm going to use this. But this is a really beautiful fabric. This is Christian Dior fabric. I'm super excited. You know, it's just interesting to me how the selvage edges are so nice and straight. Look at how nice and straight that is. So yay, super excited I got this. I'm going to wash it and see if it feels different. So, all right, so that's my Christian Dior fabric. I'm excited about it, but we're going to move on. All right. Now, what I want to show you here is, here is my dress pattern, and here is what happened. Oh, let me make this. I'm going to show you on my phone. I took a picture. So what I decided to do with the front of the dress, remember last Friday I was trying to plan pleats or tucks on the back of the dress, and I hadn't cut out the front yet. So I decided I would trace the armhole, the shoulder, the neckline to the center front, and then I flipped it over and I traced the other side flat. And then what I did was I found my center, and I basically pressed a crease, like I pressed it in half down the center to give myself a straight of grain line. And then I started pleating it. So I made little tucks underneath the neckline, 4 on each side, and I made them 1/8 inch tucks, so quarter total. And then I started doing the same thing on the shoulder. And I came down, I decided what I would do is I would come down to just before the full bust level. So I went about 10 inches. Okay, so they all ended approximately right here. Okay, so I had the whole piece of fabric was pleated, or I'm sorry, it was tucked. I had it all pressed. And then here's what I did. And here's how brilliant I am, and I'm happy to admit this to you. I took this pattern piece and I cut it out. So what's wrong with that picture? I will tell you what's wrong with that picture. I'm going to show you a picture, and I think you'll be able to see what's wrong with what I did. I think you can see here how big that is. I basically cut it out again with the shoulder having all the extra ease, and I laid it across the front of my daughter Anna, and it was even too big for her. It was huge. So that's how my pleats looked initially, and I think you can start to see down here, whoops, sorry about that. I think you can see down right where all the pleats are ending how poofy it gets all of a sudden. So that would have made a very maternity looking top on me. So I realized I had to rethink my design. Plus this is now unwearable. The neck was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 inches from in the neck. So there you go. So I totally screwed it up. And I realized that if you're going to do what I showed how to do a couple weeks ago to create this pattern, rotating the bust dart half to the shoulder and half down to the hem, then you need to cut it out and pleat it to close it to match the back. Or you need to create a pattern piece that doesn't have extra on the shoulder, so you can cut it out after you've pleated the fabric. So you can't take this and cut out something you pleated because it's too big, because I rotated to the shoulder. So this is now something that probably is going to go into my recycle bin. So here's what I decided to do. Here is my, what I did was I traced the my shirt pattern again. I scooped the neck like I showed you, and then I rotated the entire dart to the hem. And I think you can see, I'm just going to make it a color so you can see how big it is. When you rotate a bust dart to the hem, it makes a huge dart. Okay, so see how big this dart is? That is huge. So what I ended up doing was, I should have saved it, but this actually stuck out like this. So I can see the line of where it is here. So when I closed the dart, the hem stuck out all the way to here. So I trimmed off some. And then I sewed, and then I laid it on the cutout dress piece that I just showed you to get this. Okay, so what ended up happening was, let me just take this off. Okay, so you can see that, and I think you saw it on me, it does fit me, right? And what I want to tell you guys is, if you're going to design with pleats and you're going to rotate your dart from bust to hem or bust to shoulder and hem, you know, I could have made that dress if I had cut it out and made the pleats here to bring the shoulder in, right? I could have done that. But in this case, because I had already pleated here, I rotated everything to the hem. And then when I put it on, it was gigantic through here. So I actually ended up cutting off a little bit more. I took the side seams in a little bit more, and I did not adjust the pattern yet. But I ended up having to almost straighten this to get rid of a little bit more. Because remember, if you rotate a dart to the hem, this will fit you if this were shut. So if I were to just sew this big dart like this, okay, it's going to give me the shape I need like a bust dart. It's just coming from the hem. Does everybody understand that? So you could take up all this dart intake with pleats, and that's what I ended up doing, because when I tried it on, okay, everything from here, there were no pleats below my ruler. I'm going to put a ruler. So all my pleats ended right here, right? And then I literally had a ton of extra ease here because I left the rotated dart open. So what I did was I decided I would make wider darts. So I made generous quarter darts every other one, so I could just make quicker work of it. And then even at the center front, it was very poofy here, so I basically just took out all of the excess. But basically all of these pleats is like sewing the dart shut. Does that make sense? Okay, so Momzilla wants to know, so pleat the fabric, then cut an unpleated pattern. Yes, so if you wanted to rotate your dart to the hem, or if you wanted to leave the dart, you totally could. It's just make sure that wherever the bust dart is, you're not going to go through pleats, because I think that would look kind of ucky. So if you have a small bust dart, or if the pleats aren't as low as the bust dart, you could have a bust dart, but I wanted to have no bust dart, so that's why I rotated it to the hem. So I basically took that dress pattern, that piece of that dress that I cut out, and I laid my front and back on the pleats, and I cut them out symmetrically. You know, I didn't have enough to fix it into another dress. I basically cut this out right like this on the fabric after it was pleated. I mean, this part was pleated. Everything above the ruler was pleated. Then once I tried it on, I realized I had to control the fullness by extending the darts to the hem. Okay. The other option is I could trace this onto the fabric, plan where I want pleats, pleat it, and then cut it back out. Okay, because this is the correct width. The dress, I couldn't do that because I pushed it over there and I cut it out with the shoulder being too long. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. And I just want to show you in the back, what I did was, the only adjustment I made to the back was I wanted my side seams to be similar. So I literally cut here and here. Okay, and you can see that I spread this back just that little bit. And the reason why I did that was to create a side seam shape that was in agreement. Okay, so basically I just slashed that and pushed this out a little bit so the side seams would agree and sew together without fighting. Okay, so that's how I did the back. And again, I didn't put any pleats in the back because at this point I just wanted to salvage my disaster. So you can see the back is just a plain back with a center back seam. And when I took it in more, okay, so I literally had to take it in, I would say, a good 1.5 inches more on the hem to get it to not be too full. And then I blended up to 0 at the side seam up at the armhole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraft this or recut this into a shirt tail hem. So it's gonna peak up and come back down, you know, when I finish it. So, but I like this, and I think I might, I don't know, I think I'm just gonna true everything up and I'm gonna leave it a raw edge because I don't want to hem all these pleats. So I think I'm just going to leave it loose and raw, I think. But I am going to finish the edges. And I did go in and clean finish all of the edges with a 3-thread wide. So that's how I did this. But now I just want to show you here. Just put this back on. Oops. Just put this back on here for a second. Okay. All right, so, all right, Jeanette, are you there still? I'm going to show you how to lower a bust dart or move a bust dart. All right, so we're going to pretend this is the fabric and this is the pattern. I'm just going to show you a few things here. So first, if you wanted to move a bust dart to get it in the right position, you measure from the shoulder, you know, down to the tip of the dart, and you compare that on yourself, you know, minus your seam allowance. And then you measure your shoulder to your apex, and you want the bust dart to be a little bit lower than you. So if you need to move it, all you do is draw a box around it, like this. Cut it out and slide it up or down. So you would literally cut this dart, like this, you know, and if you needed to lower it, you would slide it down like that. If you needed to raise it, you would slide it up. Okay, so either way, you'd slide it one way or the other, and then I just need a scrap of paper. You need a little piece of paper to fill it in. So let's say we had to slide it down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to pretend I have to slide it up. So I'm going to slide it up, pretending it was too low. You're not moving it left to right. You're sliding it right on the cut edge. Oh, Tana says, another great learning experience for us. You just screw up so we don't have to. Thanks, Jen. Oh, that's my specialty, Tana. You're welcome. After I did it, I will tell you, I was going to do a post in my Facebook group and say, look at how I screwed this up. And then I felt so ridiculous that I did it. I didn't even post about it. I had to recover for a minute because I'm like, I cannot believe I just did that. So, you know, I think I lost the forest through the trees there. Because initially I was going to cut it out and pleat it. And then I thought, oh, let's try tracing it since I didn't cut it yet. Spot likes the shirt tail hem. They're flattering. Momzilla says the waist dart also would need to move down. Oh, yes, you could move the waist dart up or down as well. But I'll show you that's different. So, oh, Jeanette's still here. So you slide it down. You align this? All right, you align the side seam. All right, so watch. I'm going to slide it down. We'll slide it down. So I'm literally going to slide it down like this. You're not aligning the side seam. You're sliding it down along this cut edge. You don't want to move it horizontally. You want to just slide it vertically. And then I'm going to tape it in place like this. You know, and then what you would do is you'd put paper to fill in the gap like this. Okay, so I've got like this little, I slid it down like a 1/4 inch right here. So I filled in this gap. Okay, and in this case it matched, the side seams matched. Now if it didn't match, you would just put a little paper there and you would true it up. You know what I mean? So if it was off a little bit, you would just put some paper here and just make it match. Okay, but here you're literally just sliding it up or down along this vertical cut edge right there. So I hope that helps Jeanette. Momzilla says, we love Jen. Thank you. I love you too. Oh, and Barbara agrees with Tana. Well, I'll tell you something. I really feel like the only people who aren't making mistakes are the people who are not trying new things, because I think it's almost impossible to just do things all the time that are new and then also do them all perfect all the time. So anyway, so I'm the queen of screwing up and I don't care. I mean, for a second there, I thought I ruined that fabric, and I was saying to myself, I really don't like the color of this linen, but then I thought to myself, it's growing on me, I really like it, so I'm going to make it work. So I'm glad I stuck with it and did it. Okay, so now getting back to creating this pattern. So if you wanted to create a basic top that didn't have a bust dart, what you would do is you would rotate this down to the hem, and basically I have a waist dart here. So if you don't have a waist dart, you're going to make a waist dart. If you have a waist dart, you're going to add to the waist dart. Jen, can you share what tape you use that you can write on? Oh yes, I use the Scotch, just the you know, the Scotch tape. That's the magic tape. I think I have Scotch magic tape. I buy it by the 10-pack, and I did a cool tool for this little sucker. I feel really bad for my weighted tape dispensers because they're feeling neglected, because now I'm using them as all right. So the beauty of this is it clamps on your table and it doesn't move around. So I keep it over here in my corner, and you can write on it this magic tape. Mary wants a quick tip on hemming chiffon. Yes, Mary, I have a quick tip for you, and I'll tell you the tip in 1 second. All right. I'm sorry. My big camera keeps freezing for some reason, so I hope you heard everything I just said. Let me just finish with this, and then I'm going to give Mary a tip on doing chiffon, which I have right here, actually, Mary. So I'll show you how I did this in 1 second. All right. So I cut here, okay, and then I'm going to cut one of the legs of my waist dart. Now, if I didn't have a waist dart, I would just draw a line and cut it. So then you can see what we can do here is I can literally rotate this, and notice I'm rotating it over here on the tip of the dart, like that. And you end up with something that looks like this. Okay, and you get that little weird triangle. Let me just put some paper under there to show you. Okay, so you get this little weird triangle that opens up. That's okay. And now look at how big this dart is now. It's huge. Okay, this is the giant dart. Okay, now obviously I don't need I don't need to have this much swing if I'm going to leave it open. So the first thing I did was rotate some of the dart right off by cutting it here. Okay, so that's the first thing I did. I literally cut it off like this to get rid of some of the dart, and then I pleated to get rid of some more. I know, Momzilla and Spa, I know my audio had an issue. So my big camera was freezing for a second, but I think I'm good now. And also I put a new battery in my microphone. So that's how I made the pattern for this top here. So if anybody has any questions about that. And again, I ended up taking it in a little bit more after I sewed it because this was way too big. All right, so that's what I did for to create this pattern. Okay. Victoria says, I'm happy with how my bootstrap pants form is turning out. Fits my front perfectly on my waist and my high and low hips. Crotch is perfect with the seam going right up the center. The only problem is a baggy butt. Baggy butt. Can you shorten the back crotch extensions a little bit to take out some of the inside room to make it less baggy? Victoria, try that. All right, so that's the pattern. And then I guess the other thing I want to just talk about quickly here is how I got a rolled hem on chiffon. So this is silk chiffon right here. And what happens if you try to do the edge with nothing? Let me see if I can get this a little bit easier to see here. Oh, hey, Cindy. Good afternoon. You were just telling a friend about your show. I came to find the link for her and forgot it's Friday. I will have to catch up the replay. It doesn't play well in the restaurant. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for popping in. I'm sorry it doesn't play well in the restaurant. All right, what I want to show you here is up real close. I'm going to get this. Okay. So this is a rolled hem with my stitch length set on 2. My differential feed is under N. Remember how I said you can control the front feed dogs? If you put it on a number lower than N, the front feet dogs are gonna move slower than the back ones, and it will taut sew for you. But you can see it makes a little bit of a ratty, it looks kind of ratty, right? So on this side, the only thing I changed was I kept my differential feed, but I put woolly nylon in the upper looper. And so when the lower looper tightens it down and then the woolly nylon relaxes, it makes a nice, really nice filled in edge. So whether or not you have it filled in is your choice, Mary. But then the other thing I do is I use like a wash away topper. So this is Sulky Sulvy. Okay, it looks like saran wrap. It washes away. But the nice thing about it is you can see it's still on here. So look how nice it tears away. And this is what controls the quality of that stitch to make it look so much nicer. And then you just tear away. See how easily it tears away? So that's how I do my chiffon. And actually, if you do a rolled hem with some wash away topper, you can probably hem those 3 layers in a half an hour. Be very quick. So that's how I would do it. And you know, you're going to want to make the layers progressively longer. So all 3 layers, you know, you might want to make the outer layer the longest and then make the layers underneath like a 1/4 inch shorter or a 1/2 inch shorter so they don't show, you know, poke out at weird places. But that's how I would do it. And if you don't want it this thick, just use a color that matches, but use the wash away stuff and keep it a loose stitch, and it'll be nice and light and airy. So that's how I would do that. Whether you use woolly nylon or not, I would definitely use this wash away stuff. And you can just cut some strips and then tear it as you go, and then just keep using the strips until they become too skinny. And I put this between the feed dogs and the bottom of the fabric. So that's how I would do the rolled hem, Mary. All right. Let me see here. Diane says, you are my favorite enabler. I just ordered some of Christian Dior rib knit from the Confidence Stitch. Oh, I love it. Now, the one thing is, though, it's not like a stretchy, it's not going to stretch as much as you think. It's got a very firm hand to it. So I'm going to think about it before I make my pattern or before I cut it out. But also, I'm going to wash it and see if it gets softer. I mean, it's a little bit firm, but it's beautiful. So I am excited to make a raglan sleeve with that. So I will have Christian Dior, Christian Dior raglan sleeve by J Stern Designs. All right, so Mary says thanks, and Momzilla says excellent tip, woolly nylon thread for the top looper. Yeah, because the lower looper tightens it, so the upper looper curls around, and the lower looper tightens it down. So you put it in the upper looper. Oh yeah, it probably is 30%, but again, it's a very firm knit. It's a really nice knit. It's not like soft and drapey. It's not soft and drapey. So we're gonna have to make something that's got structure to it and isn't too snug. But I'll play with it, and we'll be doing it on a FabFit Friday. Don't worry. Spot says, I never thought about using woolly nylon like that, even if left in. That you're gonna write that down. Yes, write that down. Yeah, woolly nylon is nice. I was what was I doing? I was hemming some pajama bottoms for one of my friends. She's like 5 feet tall. So all of her pajama bottoms need to get like a good 6 or 7 inches off. And I noticed that the inseams were sewn with woolly nylon in the loopers, both loopers. So when the seam was nice and soft too. So you can use woolly nylon in the loopers if you want it to feel nice and soft on the inside. But here's the thing about woolly nylon. do not touch it with the iron. It will melt and burn and melt, and it will basically disintegrate. So do not touch it with an iron. No iron for woolly nylon. All right, so yeah, this is fun. I'm running out of things to talk about now. I am going to revisit the dress situation. All right, so I'm going to have this nice happy top. I'm going to finish it, and I'm really glad that I didn't just chuck it in the garbage. I was so annoyed that I messed up the dress. But I will be finishing that. I'm very excited about it. It's a nice basic color that will go with a lot of my bottoms, you know, and I can wear it as a, you know, under a cardi maybe in the fall as well. So I'm excited about it. And I think having all of those vertical pleats or little tucks is very slenderizing. And again, continuing them to the hem prevented that maternity looking situation from happening. So, yay. All right, so that is my report for today. I'm super excited. I'm going to try to shoot 2 Cool Tools and 2 Fit Tip Tuesdays because I'm not going to be here next Friday for FabFit Friday because of the pants fitting class. And I have a student in the pants class who's staying Monday, and I'm going to be working with her for an extra day on some other things. So I'm not going to be available to do anything on Monday either. So I am going to try to bust out a bunch of videos for this week, because between trying to find a chair on Saturday and then visiting my dad and my parents Sunday and then having some other things happen, I didn't shoot any videos this week, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm going to definitely have them for next week, and I'm hoping to shoot extra ones for the week after so I don't skip any more Cool Tools or Fit Tips. Mozilla says, all excellent mistakes, Jen. Thanks for sharing. You're entirely welcome. Yeah, I know. I had to walk around the block a little bit after I did that one, though. I will admit to you, I was very annoyed with myself, but I've recovered and I prevailed and I made it into something I like that I can wear. So I guess that's the goal. The other thing I did to this, now that I'm looking at it, is I cut the shoulder, back a little bit, so it's actually on my shoulder. It was a little bit, you know, like for an armhole for a sleeve. So I did actually shape the armhole a little bit more too. Oh, I'm allowed to have a life. I know, but you know what? My whole life really is very related to everything I do with J Stern Designs, because, you know, the other thing I'm doing, I can just show you. Let me see if I can show you quick. I think I have them here. Hold on. Hold on. I know I have them. Oh, here. So, you know, I like to do embroidery, and I very rarely have time to embroider, but I'm going to be making golf flags for Hospice Golf Tournament for where my brother works at Portland Golf Course, and they're doing a fundraiser for hospice. And since my mother is currently in hospice, I felt like I wanted to contribute. So I'm going to be making, you know, Middlesex Health Hospice Golf Tournament flags. And then they want me to do their logo, Portland Golf Course. There's another C that has to go in this hoop over here, another hooping. But I don't like the way this lettering is coming out, so I'm also going to be playing with my embroidery. It's like I always have something going on, and it's usually, you know, the fiber related one way or the other. So, oh, Mary says, oh yes, we have times where we just have to walk away. Oh, Momzilla says, one more time about differential feed. Okay. Differential feed. I'll show you that one more time. I'm going to get my serger. Hold on. Just so I'm not going to turn my serger on, but I just want you to see what I'm talking about when I say that there's 2 sets of feed dogs. Let me just switch my view here. Differential feed is really your best friend. You can use it for a lot of things besides just finishing edges and such. Let's just see if I can show you here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, let's get in real close here. Maybe not that close. Okay, so I'm going to take the foot off. Oh, all right, here we go. All right, sorry about that. I have to figure out why my camera is doing that. See these feed dogs right here? And if I turn the hand wheel, see these right here? Those are the front feed dogs. I know, it'll be back. And then the back feed dogs are back here, okay? The front feed dogs, we can control the speed of them. The back feed dogs go at a constant rate of speed. So these front ones we can control. If you put it on a number higher than N, and on my serger I have 1.3, 1.5, 1.8, and 2.0.